Originally, I was going to make individual tutorials for each boss at the end of each chapter in Armored Core 6, but after chapter 3, and specifically after I beat Cell 240, I came across a build that made the rest of the game really easy. And it started to feel irrelevant to create individual tutorials because the strategy I used for each boss remained the same. And I was able to one-shot every boss all the way into my 5th playthrough using one of 2 variations of this build. The first version of this loadout is able to carry you through practically every mission and about half of the game's bosses. It's better suited for the final bosses of chapters 1 through 3. The second version is great for defeating the final bosses in chapter 4 and 5, and no matter who I was fighting, I was able to beat that boss on the first try. I do want to caution you though, this loadout trivializes the game. And to put things in perspective, for me, it took about 25 to 30 hours to beat Armored Core 6 the first time. And after I found this loadout, it took me about 7 hours to beat the game 2 more times. Basically, I could beat Armored Core 6 in one sitting. And as much as I enjoyed playing the game, the main criticism I have is that New Game Plus and beyond are not as challenging as that first playthrough. Mainly because you have all of the equipment you didn't have before, and yes, your experience carries over as well, but I largely believe it's the accessibility to all of the weapons from your first playthrough that makes the game so much easier in subsequent playthroughs. What's pretty unfortunate is this loadout requires little to no strategy, especially if you're running the tank version. It makes the nuances of each boss kind of irrelevant because instead of learning how to dodge each attack by anticipating and reading their movements, you can just absorb it and deal massive damage to them. It becomes a race on who can deal the most damage first, and it's a race that you can usually win. The bright side, however, is this loadout doesn't seem to be the clear winner in PvP, so it's not the one build that rules them all, but it does dominate in PvE. That much is clear. Which is good news for you guys because you can easily unlock every ending, purchase every piece of equipment, and defeat every arena battle if you have an interest in doing that quickly. So this is what I'm going to do for you guys. I've uploaded both of these loadouts, and here are their share IDs in case you're interested. I have a third one, which is a slight variation on the tank build, and I found that it really helped me on certain all-mind missions in New Game Plus Plus. So feel free to use that one if you need to. It mainly helped me during the Escort the Weaponized Mining Ship mission in Chapter 1, but the first 2 loadouts are the ones you should largely focus on if you're trying to complete the game as fast as you can. I'm still thinking about whether I should just post each boss fight just so you guys can see the power these loadouts have. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that, but if we can reach 50 likes on this video, then I'll go ahead and release every single one of these boss fights. They may or may not have commentary, but if they do, I imagine I won't speak too much about the strategy because, quite frankly, there really isn't much to it. It's pretty simple. Shoot at them, make sure you land your hits, and if you do, you'll take off chunks of their health. Use this sparingly because it does make the single player experience really easy, but if that's your goal, then these loadouts are the ones to use. Other than that, that's pretty much going to wrap up this video. I know it was a short one, but I didn't want to waste you guys' time and create 5 separate videos when this one can do the job. For my future uploads, I've been thinking about trying something else, so your support on those videos would be much appreciated. I feel like the ideas I have will still be relevant and entertaining to watch, so maybe you'll consider checking them out when they go live. Follow if you haven't already, so that way you don't miss out on them. But until next time, my name is Snake Eyes with One Up, and take care.